Ladies and gentlemen, meet the brand new 2017 Acura MDX Hybrid. And this is the most powerful, the most technically advanced Acura MDX ever built. Why is that? Because it's got not one, not two, not three, but 4 power plants. And coming up next on this TFL sneak peek, I'm going to tell you everything I can about why this is the most technically advanced MDX ever built. Acura flew me out here to just outside of Seattle, Washington on a very rainy day to test drive this hybrid because they're very proud of the car's MPG. Let me give this to you right now. It's 26 city, 27 combined, 27 highway, and that's pretty impressive for a car with 3 rows of seating. What makes this MDX the most powerful and technologically advanced MDX ever is that it's got 1 gasoline engine, that's a 3-liter, and 3 electric motors. There's 1 electric motor sandwiched in the 7-speed dual clutch transmission and 2 in the back to power each wheel for a combined horsepower of 321 and 289 pound-foot of torque, which of course also makes this car all-wheel drive. I'm gonna ask you the softball question first. What's your favorite feature of the new MDX Hybrid that we're in right now?
Favorite feature?
Yeah.
Of course, it's the Sport hybrid system with the twin motor unit in the rear. Gives you that great handling performance and that line trace that is just phenomenal.
Is there, does each motor in the back basically provide power to each of the 2 rear wheels, or do they work in conjunction?
They can work in both multiple ways, in conjunction, and also both positive and negative torque. So as you're going around the corner, you can apply the regenerative brakes is happening, and you can be applying positive torque to really propel you around the corner.
So one can be braking and the other can be...
Yeah, you can transfer the power directly from one side to the other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about the front wheels?
The front wheels, we have a front motor, electric motor.
Yep. And
it's kind of in the transmission, the 7 DCT transmission, so very, very efficient design.
So why does Honda call this a MDX Sport Hybrid? And the reason for that is because it's tuned to be very sporty. It's got 4 drive modes, and those include Comfort, Normal, Sport, and Sport Plus. And when you change those, you're changing things like throttle response, steering input, and of course, most importantly, the amount of suspension dampening. Or is it damping? Well, it's wet out there. It could be either, I suspect. Everything that I see, including a tachometer and the speedometer, are very driver-centric. While this is a 3-row family hauler, from behind the wheel, it feels a lot sportier. And of course, if you like Acura interiors, you're gonna love the interior of this car. Everything I touch is soft. There isn't a panoramic sunroof, but there is a nice fat steering wheel. And that, to me, puts a lot of sport into the Sport Hybrid. Unfortunately, driving impressions are embargoed, and Acura wants to give everybody a shot to get their story out at the same time, so I can't tell you how it drives until next week, but I can show you how it drives. Here we go. Yeah, I will tell you all about it when you come back for the comparison next week. What I can tell you is that this car has Acura's super handling all-wheel drive. What does that mean? Well, it means active torque steer. A lot of cars use ABS to determine the wheel speed and then brake whichever wheel it thinks needs to be slowed down to make you go around a corner better. Acura goes one better than that. Because we've got 3 electric motors, we've got both active and passive torque appropriation to whatever wheel needs it. So in practical terms, that means that Acura can push torque out to the outside wheels if I'm, for instance, heading around this corner to help me go around the corner better. There are a few minor problems. For instance, the second row door doesn't open as far as I would like it to, as you can tell. But once you get back here, it's very comfortable. I have plenty of headroom. I'm sitting behind myself and I have plenty of leg room. I'd like to have a little bit more room to get in the back. But there is a thoughtful button back here that you push that slides the second row forward. There's a button, and then to get back here, it's relatively straightforward. You know, it's not kind of a gymnastic contortion to get myself back here. All right. Seat is locked in. As you can see, I'm 6'2" and I don't have a lot of headroom, but let's face it, this third row is usually for the kiddos. And if you're, let's say, 10 or under, this will be a fine place, actually a fun place to spend lots of time. If you're 6'2", it's probably better to be behind the wheel than in the third row. Just like Mercedes and BMW, Acura has decided to switch up the way that we shift our cars into drive. And that's mainly to clear up space in this section. So instead of having a traditional shift lever, we now get a push button selector. So to go into drive, you push D. To go into drive sport mode, you push S. Reverse, you toggle back. Neutral, you push. And of course, park, you push. I'm not a huge fan of push button transmissions, but they seem to be the wave of the future. This MDX hybrid most closely competes with the Lexus RX 450 hybrid, of course, and the Infiniti QX60 hybrid. Now, since this is a sneak peek, that means that driving impressions are embargoed. But if you come back next week, I'm going to do a review of all three of these vehicles and compare one to another, and I will talk about driving impressions. Obviously, when you have a hybrid, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you could go one of two ways. So let's call something like the old Insight as being a hybrid that is designed and engineered to be very fuel efficient. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of that spectrum, let's call it the NSX, which is out there, right? Right. That's a hybrid system that's designed to be very fast and very powerful and very torquey. To me, it seems like the MDX is more to the right than to the left. Yeah, a little bit more sport oriented. Right. Why is that? Why did you decide to make that decision? That's really the brand direction. You know, we're really trying to fulfill that brand and that performance attitude that we're really going after for the precision crafted performance. So it's because you're trying to make it a sportier car. Now the competition, which is also here, includes the Lexus and the Infiniti. Now those two cars seem to be more, once again, toward the fuel efficiency side. Yeah. So did you make a conscious decision to make this much more sporty or much more performance oriented? Definitely more performance and sporty. So that was a very easy decision for us. Oh yeah. You're probably wondering how much it costs. It starts at about $53,000 and goes up from there depending on, of course, all the bells and whistles. And it will be available at your local Acura dealership starting next month. All right, as always, this is Roman saying, click over here to check out some more TFL reviews. And I'm gonna get back in here, turn on the heated seats, and get dry and warm. See you guys next time. Ciao.